Hey guys, what's going on? Sean Bo Crew back again with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to talk about my supplements. So, first thing is, when I look for a good supplement, I go for the pure ingredients, because if you go for the fancy blends that have tons of different ingredients in one pre-workout or one protein powder or something, they have so many different ingredients. But if you look on the nutrition facts label, most of the time they don't tell you the exact amount of each ingredient they put in. So they could be putting a ton of one ingredient in, but then just a little bit of every other ingredient. And in order to be in complete control of your body, you need to know exactly what you're taking. So when I look for supplements, I always go for the pure ingredients, the ones that just have one ingredient in them, so that way I know exactly how much I'm taking. And also, when you go for the pure ingredient, it's usually much cheaper than buying the special containers with everything you need inside. So that's another benefit of getting the pure ingredients from the generic brands. It doesn't matter if it's a good brand or not, because you know that it has a good ingredient inside, and you know it's just that pure ingredient, and you know that they didn't put any bad stuff in there. So let me show you what I got. The first ingredient, the first supplement I use is creatine. So like I said, the brand doesn't really matter, but I bought this one at a health food store, and it costs like $15 for half a kilogram of creatine monohydrate. Pure creatine monohydrate. So I take 5 grams every single day, even rest days. And some people like cycle creatine, where they might go really high amounts of creatine for 2 weeks or a month or something, and then they would go very low for the next month or two. And I've tried using more than 5 grams a day, and it doesn't make any difference for me. So don't think that more creatine is better. 5 grams is perfect if you just take that every day. So this is so pure that it's even unflavored, which is cool. So you don't get the artificial sweeteners and stuff. So I just mix it in with a little bit of fruit juice or something, stir it in with a spoon, and then bam! So, next supplement. I only take 3 supplements, so this won't be a super long video. LArginine and LCitrulline. I take, they're both in the same pill, and on the ingredient label it does say how much of each is used. So I take 1 gram of LArginine and 1 gram of LCitrulline every day I work out. I take half a gram of each first thing in the morning with breakfast, and then I take half a gram of each 45 minutes before my workout. And what it does is it creates nitric oxide, which causes vasodilation. And vasodilation means that it relaxes your blood vessels, which causes them to expand. So it gives you a better pump and stuff, which is pretty cool to me. But in the long run, you don't need it. I mean, it's just a bonus. So this is not required. I haven't noticed really any strength or weight gain from it, or focus or energy, but I like it. So those are the only things I use. And I want to talk about pre-workouts and protein powders. A lot of you guys are probably surprised why I don't use them. And for pre-workout, first of all, if I need energy, I just use my espresso machine and make a cappuccino or an espresso shot or two. And so you can use pre-workout if you want, but I go for coffee. And also, the citrulline and arginine they're both ingredients commonly used in pre-workout, so that's kind of like a pre-workout since I take it before my workout. And about protein powder, I do not think that protein powder is necessary when you aren't strict on your macronutrients. And what I mean by that is, if you're trying to just gain weight, some people might do it differently than me, but I just make sure that I'm eating lots of healthy and high-calorie foods in general. I'm bulking right now, but still got my abs. I never lose my abs. I'm trying to build as much muscle for my competition next year. So I don't track my macros right now. I don't track the amount of protein I take and things like that. In my opinion, as long as you're eating enough clean whole food, like I said, you should be fine with building muscle and having energy. However, I do believe that when you're cutting or dieting and you're tracking your macros, and when you're going really strict on you have to get this exact amount of protein, this exact amount of carbs, this amount of fat, I believe that is when taking protein powder may be necessary. So chances are I'll probably use protein powder when I cut down for my competition next year, but until then, I don't need it, in my opinion. Alright, talk to you guys later. Boom.